Red goo consumes Jane, so now Thor bullies Dark Elves. Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Thor the Dark World and the second installment of the Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let's see how Thor's doing after the Avengers, and let's be honest here, the Avengers doesn't really matter in this sense. This is more of a sequel to his first movie, because at the end of Thor 1, Loki, because of what he did, kind of threw the whole 9 realms into disarray. So now Thor in this movie has to fix that and also deal with the return of the Dark Elves. So let's start off with saying that Chris Hemsworth once again puts in a killer performance as Thor. Absolutely wonderful. And we also have Natalie Portman back as Jane Foster, and I will say once again that to me, I hate to say this, they didn't really have much chemistry. I'm just gonna be honest here. I see them trying, but I didn't feel it. It's not like, you know, Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, where you can feel it being there. Captain America and Peggy Carter. Here it's more like he's a hot guy, so that's why. It's like they don't have like an emotional connection. It's more like Chris Hemsworth is the hot guy and Jane Foster is the love interest in that sense. But Jane gets a bigger role in this movie because of the fact that she is basically turned into a plot point. And that could be for better or for worse, whether you like Natalie Portman in these Thor movies or not. If you don't, good news. This is the last time you'll see her in a Thor. Oh, no, actually, cut that out. Next up, we have the wonderful and fantastic Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. And yeah, he's the best part in this movie. Absolutely, not even gonna sugarcoat it. Loki is the best part of this movie. The bromance that Loki has with Thor, mwah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. He literally saves this movie for me. Also, once again, Idris Elba does a fantastic job of portraying Heimdall. And also Anthony Hopkins as Odin. Because I don't really have much to say about these two characters, because they don't really do much outside of the fact that Odin is basically just the dad to Thor. Where it's like, look, a king needs to be focused on more than just one realm or one person from one realm. But focus on 9 realms, that kind of stuff. You know, the fact that he's kind of like molding Thor into becoming a king. And Heimdall is the watcher, and that's basically all he does. But he has one cool scene, but I'm not gonna spoil that because I will do spoiler talk again. So no, not yet. But let's talk about the main disappointment in this movie. Oh, by the way, Darcy and Eric are back as well. They're fine. I mean, Darcy is better in this movie than she was in the last movie, because they fully embrace her being kind of the comic relief. I mean, she has her own intern, for crying out loud. They fully embrace the fact that she is a comic relief, and that's fine by me. And Eric has gone completely insane since the end of the Avengers, because Loki was in his brain poking around, which is kind of weird because it did that stuff to Eric, but why didn't it affect anyone else that was affected by Loki? Like, Hawkeye was affected too, and Hawkeye's perfectly fine. He didn't go insane and just did what Eric did. But anyway, let's talk about the main problem with this movie, and that is the villains. Well, the villain, whose name you probably do not even know, and it's Malekith, by the way, the ruler of the Dark Elves of Svartalfheim. And yeah, he's bad in this movie. He's not even like, he's boring. Let's be honest here. Like, he has nothing going for him. He's not just like completely insane where it's entertaining, kind of like Red Skull. He doesn't have a cool one line, which makes me remember him like Whiplash did, where is my bird? I want me bird. And Ironmonger did, where he built it in a cave with a box of scraps. He doesn't have any of that stuff. And he also doesn't have the backstory that Loki has. So he has nothing going for him as the bad guy of this movie. Now, apparently, there was a plan to have him be fleshed out, but studio meddling ruined this movie. And I'm just gonna say it, this is not that good of a movie. I mean, also Christopher Eccleston. Christopher, good old Chris. He portrays Malekith, and he does a fine enough job, but it's just like the character is written so boring and also very pathetic. He feels like the way that Kang the Conqueror feels right now, getting defeated kind of by a weaker character, and that is our bad guy. That is basically the way that I can say it to anyone who watched the movie. You know it is. And it's just, no, I didn't like Malekith. He is there, but it's just, like I said, this movie is saved by the bromance between Loki and Thor, because I love their interactions with each other. I am pushing gently. Absolutely fantastic, the two of them together. But Malekith is such a disappointment, and he's the one that drags this movie down, because This is probably one of the weaker MCU movies. However, looking at phases 4 and 5, this movie fits right in because it's on that level, which is not a compliment at all. It is better than some of the stuff from phase 4 and 5, but my goodness. And also, I don't have rose-tinted glasses anymore. Because of phase 4 and 5, they kind of destroyed those glasses. So, right now, I'm actually being more critical towards the MCU, which some people may not agree with, because I gave Iron Man 3 an 8 out of 10. So, some people are like, yeah, you're just still rose-tinted glasses. But it's like, I really enjoyed that movie. It's just the Mandarin twist is something that I just didn't like. But that is one part of the movie. But here, it feels like the movie was also written very rushed. Because a lot of stuff like happens, the movie moves along, but it doesn't really spend time explaining. It's just like, alright, now we need to go here. Also, we have the Warriors 3 back and Sif back, and they're great in the movie. They have one section of each of them, which I like, and that's it. I mean, technically it's the Warriors too, but I like them in this movie. Also, I will actually this time say it. We have Renee Russo as Frigga, because I did not mention her in the first Thor movie, but that was because her most memorable stuff that she does in that movie is sit by Odin's bedside while he's taking a nap. And I didn't really feel like it was worth a mention. The wife of Odin and the queen of Asgard. And I like her a lot more in this movie because of the fact that she shows more character. I mean, she has a nice little banter with Odin where Odin is like, my queen still worries about me after all these years. And she's just like, the fact that I worry about you is the reason that you are still alive, my king. I like that. And also she has one badass sequence, which I really liked. So for me, she is a step up from the previous movies. So for my final verdict for Thor the Dark World, it's going to be an actual 6 out of 10. Yeah, not that high. Probably higher than some people thought. Also lower than other people thought. I think it's a 6 out of 10 because the comedy is strong, but everything else kind of falls apart because it's just like very rushed and stuff like that. And Malekith is just completely underdeveloped. I can deal with a nothing villain. I can also deal with a bad villain, but what I cannot deal with is just a boring and weak villain. And that's what Malekith is. It's my biggest issue with the movie is him, because he's weak and he's boring. Like, I couldn't care less. He's like, my plan is to take over all realms, and I'm like, I don't care. Thor, stop this guy. Come on. He almost died by falling down the stairs. You can do it. Don't worry about it. And that is just the biggest problem that I have. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's actually a 6 out of 10. Not like a low one. An actual 6 out of 10. Like, you know, Iron Man 2 was like a low 7. Iron Man 3 was a low 8. This is an actual 6 out of 10. Just full on 6. Because of the bromance between Loki and Thor. If Loki wasn't in this movie would have been like a 4. Maybe even a 3, which actually would have fit because it's Thor. I would have said a Thor out of 10. But for me, Loki is what saves this movie. And also kind of the lack of him ruins another movie. Love and Thunder. I hate that thing. This is not the worst Thor movie. That honor still goes to Love and Thunder. But that has been my review of Thor the Dark World. So comment down below and let me know your thoughts about Thor the Dark World. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Just comment it down below. And with that being said, thank you all so very much for watching. And I do hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new or haven't done so already. Turn on notifications. Don't forget to check out my Let's Play channel. Link to the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys next time for my review of Captain America the Winter Soldier. Bye!